Now, back home, a stream of visitors paid their last respects to the late former Deputy Prime Minister Goh Keng Swee, who died yesterday at the age of 91. Cabinet ministers spoke fondly of Dr. Goh as their mentor and source of inspiration.
For those who turned up at Dr. Goh's home, it was a chance for them to honour and remember a man instrumental in building modern Singapore. His legacy spanning key portfolios as Defence Minister, Education Minister, Finance Minister and Deputy Prime Minister lives on in many of Singapore's policies today.
He was like a god. I mean, he made the system work, that part of it, the monetary policy. And when later on I went to MAS, really we were building on what he had done. And a lot of what we're doing today is what he had done, and we build upon. I was watching the CNA program, the end part, and he was making, I think, his last public speech as a minister, and he spoke. He says, if we're coming into this, you're joining holy orders. And your job is to build on what we have done, not treat it as a pinnacle, but as a foundation to make it better. And I think that's our job.
Mr. Lee said younger Singaporeans should learn from the values imparted by pioneers like Dr. Goh. To the leaders, Dr. Goh is remembered for the valuable guidance he gave.
When I was a young civil servant, I actually resigned from the civil service to join Shell, the Shell Oil Company. He put a stop to it. He rang up the chairman of Shell and told him not to take me. He did not even know me then. So the point I'm making is, he followed the careers of young officers whom he thought could contribute more to Singapore. So I rejoined the civil service.
One day I wanted to resign from the civil service, and then he called me up and he persuaded me not to.
Former Finance Minister Richard Hu also referred to Dr. Goh as his mentor.
Very decisive. You don't get another man like that. Singapore will not be the same without him.
Even those who did not work directly with Dr. Goh were struck by his astute mind and work ethics. Senior Minister S. Jayakumar recalled how, as a young office holder, he used to sit next to Dr. Goh at cabinet meetings.
I was very impressed that never he let himself have an idle moment. He would either do a crossword puzzle or do anagrams to keep his mind occupied.
Clearly, Dr. Goh made an impact on younger MPs and ministers who didn't have a chance to work with him.
His handiwork is everywhere, indelible. His footprints are everywhere. Old files that you see, and then when you read the crispness of his articulation, the sharpness of his arguments, the clarity of his insight. And as a young minister, when you read this, you say, wow, these problems put in such a clear way.
All of us owe a debt of gratitude to Dr. Goh Keng Swee for his vision, his passion and his dedication to bring Singapore and Singaporeans to where we are today. And I hope Singaporeans will also take this opportunity to learn from Dr. Goh's pioneering spirit, and so that we will have the courage and confidence as we face our challenges as we move forward.
Defence Minister Teo Chee Hean led a group of 23 armed forces personnel to pay their last respects to a man described as the architect of the modern Singapore Armed Forces.
He frightens a lot of people. People are, he's very demanding boss, but really, if you know him well, he's a very kind man, very caring man, and he actually has the welfare of the soldiers at heart.
Members of the public also paid their last respects.
He was a guy who, stopped at nothing to get Singapore going.
Really incredible, and I can't say enough about the incredible human being that Goh Keng Swee is.
Dr. Goh's body will lie in state at the Parliament from next Thursday to Saturday. The public may pay their last respects during this period. A state funeral will be held next Sunday.